Hi, welcome back to the garden. I'm Dawn. Today is the end of May and I'm going to show you a little garden tour. I got everything in the garden. Tom and I worked hard all weekend, a lot of rototilling. This was a rotation year, so we rotated so many beds, brought in so much compost. As you can see, with the paper on the ground, we do a lot of our stuff in paper. It cuts down on weeding. We got everything planted out here so far that we wanted to. The only thing left is our bush beans and our cucumbers, and they'll go out probably in a week. Here's a look at the beans. They're almost ready to go out. And the cucumbers, they have a little bit more time. So then we'll take in a greenhouse, because the broccoli that I showed you guys that I planted in February, that we've been harvesting, and there's a lot more to harvest now, so I'll show you that. I also have some lettuce before it gets too hot, because it gets really hot in the greenhouse now that it's the end of May. So I'll take you around and just show you around. Everything's rather small now because we just planted it, but now that it's in the ground and we're getting these nice warm days, and hopefully it stops raining every day and the sun comes out, everything should grow really fast. So I'll give you a little tour. All right, we just had a quick shower, and this is my outside bed of tomatoes. There's 3 rows. The T-posts are in there, and these get cages on them because these are determinate plum tomatoes. And I actually have a total of 8 beds of tomatoes in my garden. I have one here. I have this one here. And you can see this has a T-post and a trellis. My indeterminate tomatoes grow vertically, and they will grow on that. So in the next couple weeks, we'll be putting all our T-posts and trellising up. And I grow so many tomatoes because we just love them. I make tomato sauce. I make different ones, thick sauces, thin sauces, with basil, without, diced tomatoes, tomato juice. So I don't have to buy tomato products in the store. I haven't had to buy any kind of tomatoes, sauces, or diced tomatoes in the stores for years. I'm still eating my tomato sauce from last year, which is awesome. I also do that with my peppers. I use trellis instead of cages to keep them upright. But let me take you through the garden. I have 3 beds of onions. Here's one of my onions. This bed right here is going to be for the cucumbers. We grow them vertically. We have the T-post and the trellis, just like the tomatoes. And the cucumbers get to be 8 feet tall. And it's so nice and easy to pick the cucumbers when they're on a trellis. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. Then my next bed is... This is an experiment. These are spring flowering bulbs. So I have all different kinds of bulbs in here, and I should be able to dig them up and save them for next year. And then I have zinnias. These are Lysianthus. I started them from seed the end of January, and I was a little worried because they kept saying it was so hard to get them to grow and to get them out to the garden, but they're starting to grow. I also have a bed here with basil and dill, and this is how I do my peppers. This is a row of peppers. I have the horn peppers, sweet peppers. I also have a lot of bell peppers and different colored peppers. And this will get the T-post also, and trellising. Then here is my second planting of broccoli. I'm going to show you my broccoli in the greenhouse that we've been harvesting. But this is my brassica bed. And in this bed, I have, I think, 4 different kinds of broccoli. That way they don't all come in at once. I have ones that are 58 days, and then some are 62 days and 72 days. And then I have a couple cauliflowers, and I planted the yellow. And I also planted, I think, a couple purple cauliflowers. And then on the end, I just have 2 green cabbages and 2 red cabbages. Like I said, this is my second planting of broccoli. And this bed, I just have some eggplants, and these are my hot peppers right here. I got a couple hot jalapenos, and my favorite Hungarian wax, and a couple poblano in there. Over here we have our summer squashes. I have summer squash in this bed, and in that row I have the winter squash. And the T-posts are there also because I put cages and I grow them vertically. It does very well that way. So the cages will be going on soon. Over here we have our snap peas. This is a whole bunch of tomatoes I didn't plant. I always plant extra just in case anything happens. And I'll be giving some of those away, but some of them won't be going bye-bye. This bed right here is carrots and beets. And I got some white turnips, a little purple top, and radishes, and some more carrots on the end. But we start our carrots when we put them in the ground. Then we put this row cover on them to keep the moisture in. Let's see how they're doing. Oh, good. Can you see that? All these carrots here, they're all popping. Be able to take this row cover off. See, in here we have 4 rows of carrots. So they're doing good. And this is a little bit more carrots. This is a different type. We planted this about 2 weeks before. So they're just starting to get their second leaves. So that's good. Now with my flower beds, I increased my flower beds this year. This year I planted a few of dahlia tubers. I ordered those. I bought 4 actually. And oh, look at that. This has a bud on it already. I ordered those and I pre-sprouted them in the house. That one is a dinner plate dahlia. I was so excited about that one and it wasn't growing, so I finally dug it up and it was rotting. And so I took it out. I'm gonna have to order something else to put in that spot. I'm gonna try to get another dahlia. And here's the rest of my bed. I plant a lot of flowers that attract the pollinators, and I get so many bees and butterflies, but especially I get a family of hummingbirds. They have been coming for years, and they really like this. This is a tall vibina. I have that planted throughout my beds. It is gorgeous. It gets about 5 feet tall, and they just love it. And this year I planted a whole bunch of different zinnias. I usually just did a rocket mix and I was happy with that. And they get really tall. They get almost 6 feet tall. And then at the end of the season, I really can't see them. And they're like the more the bold colors. I really am in a peach mood this year. So I got some peaches and some like champagne color, pinks. I got some cupcake zinnias. I got some cactus zinnias. And I'm excited to see all the different colors that I planted. I planted a whole bunch of different colors of snapdragons. I started them in the house the beginning of February, and I've been pinching them back. So when you pinch back your snapdragons, you get more shoots. So if you don't pinch them back, let's see. Okay, this one I didn't pinch back enough or early enough. They're starting to get more shoots here, but see, it's only one single shoot. So the first flower is only going to have 1 flower. Where these are nice and sturdy, nice strong plants. And this one has like 5 shoots. This one has 3. And that's because I pinched them back when they were small. And have some the gummy bear sunflowers. And then this is another row of a mix of flowers. I got my zinnias, snapdragons, and down there I got a whole bunch of sunflowers. And same here, I have different flowers. I got straw flowers, which I'm excited about. I've never planted straw flowers. My celotias, I got some white marigolds. I have some more things in my trays, and I have to plant some stuff here. I just am getting my colors picked out, and I want to put things in the right spot. And then I have my amaranths down here, and that's going to get big. And a couple more sunflowers. And that's the other row of peppers. I plant a lot of peppers. We eat a lot. I dry them and I freeze them. So I always plant a lot extra. And then over here, these are my transplants. I still have places to put some. I have some in the front of my house. I want to plant some of these flowers. But this is my herb bed. So I got all kinds of herbs that I planted. Thyme and rosemary. And my rosemary did really well this year. You know, rosemary can be very, very finicky when you plant it from seed. And I have a couple different kinds of parsley and my celery, and I got chives, and then I got some bunching onions. Oh, and this is my feverfew. That's going to be really pretty. And my Mexican sunflowers, if you saw that last year in my garden, they were like 8 feet tall, gorgeous flowers constantly the whole summer. And the leaves feel like velvet. They feel so nice to touch. And then I have my ever-bearing strawberries with some chamomile in the back and some sunflowers. Then here it switches over to the June-bearing strawberries, which I love, but you only get one flush of them. And they are sweeter than the ever-bearing. And you get a lot all at once, which we've been eating a lot of them. I'll go into more details as everything grows. Everything's so small yet, but I'm so excited we finally got most of the stuff in. This will be a bed of fall broccoli. So we try to time that so when the other broccoli is about done, that this is going to start producing. So we'll be planting broccoli there in July. And then we'll plant another planting of broccoli in the greenhouse for the winter. All right, as you can see, we use a lot of fabric for our beds. It is so awesome. I know some people don't like to use it, but it saves me hours and hours of weeding. But we reuse these year after year after year. Like I said, this was a rotation year. So what we have to do is we have to lift up all the fabric, rototill, put our compost, change the fabric, so whatever bed they're going to. So this really helps. And it actually makes the gardening much more enjoyable, that I can come out here and just look at the flowers and harvest my vegetables and not have to worry that my garden is getting overrun by weeds. So let's go in the greenhouse. I will show you in here. Look how good this broccoli did. I've been eating them, but this is a nice size head. Look how big the head is. So I'm going to take a couple for dinner tonight. This one's just starting to get loose, if you can see that. So this one I definitely have to take. It gets so hot in here now that the temperatures are getting warmer, that they're going to start bolting real soon. So I got to get as many out of here as possible. These are ones that are later broccolis. And then in the middle, I have my Chinese cabbage. I have lettuce. And you can see it's just starting to get funny because of the heat. But these ones, those are the romaine lettuces. I have to remember what kind that is. They held up really well. And then I got some kale here. But my broccoli that I'm really impressed with is this purple head broccoli. Look at that. We ate some already. It's delicious. But look how big this head is. Let me just see how big that is. It's really nice, and they taste great. And I have noticed that we had a little bit of aphids in here, and not one aphid went on the purple heads. So that's really good to know inside of a greenhouse. And this is a different type of broccoli. This one comes later. So these haven't even started producing heads yet. And I still have a little bit of kohlrabi left. So right here. So I'm gonna pick a couple broccolis, a little bit of lettuce, and I still have a little bit of my bunching onions. So let me get to that. All right, so let me get the looser heads first. And so when you cut the heads off, then you start getting the shoots on the side, and it gives you like 5 to 8 sprouts on the sides. So then you get almost like a whole nother head. And as long as it doesn't get too hot in here, that they start bolting. So we'll see. Let me get some of the purple heads. So this is a good learning thing, that my broccoli that I planted at the end, That was a really late day. I think it said 90 days that it would be a full head. And my other ones are like 58 days and then 72 days. So now I know if I start them in February, just to do the ones that are earlier days. Don't put any of the 90 days in here because it's going to get too hot in here for them. So good learning experience. But I am really impressed with this purple broccoli. All right, that's good. This will be enough for a couple meals during the week. And I'm gonna get some lettuce. Let me get a couple of these kohlrabi. I gotta start more in the house. These are on the smaller side. So this is what a kohlrabi looks like, in case you haven't ever seen any. It's on the smaller size. They get double this size and they're delicious. What I'm gonna do probably is just peel this, put salt and pepper on it, and eat it like I'm eating radishes. But it's really good. You can put them in stir fries or whatever you want. All right, so I got my lettuce. I got little bunching onions. Did good today on my broccoli. And really doing well in there. Hopefully it stays cool enough that we keep getting broccoli until this one's ready. I don't know if that's gonna work, but I have to adjust my timing for next year. I really wanted this broccoli to start producing when that one stopped. So this just has to go in a little earlier out here next year. But other than that, I'm really happy with the greenhouse over the winter. And I have been getting my kohlrabi. Now our main focus is going to be out in the main garden. So I hope you like the tour. Everything's small yet, but it's going to grow fast from here on out. And I'm so excited to be gardening for the summer again. I'm so looking forward to the first tomato. And hopefully the garden does well. And if you have a garden, I'm hoping yours does well too. And thanks for watching. And I hope you come back and watch our garden grow. Bye-bye.